Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Otts here, and it's Tuesday morning. We're going to do Tuesday trivia out of the trivia book again today. The next 20 questions of the trivia book. So, good morning. Welcome to Tuesday trivia on the Raptor Freak channel. Good morning, Raptor Freaks. Yeah, we'll do 20 questions again from the trivia book. And I think what we did was, were they fit 100 each or something like that? I think it was something like that. So, there's some good trivia points to be gotten today on Tuesday trivia. So I hope y'all enjoy that. We won't start the trivia for a little while, though. Maybe we'll start it after I get through the comments, maybe right around 9:30 since I'm 15 minutes early right now. But yeah, the fallout from the draft lottery is still happening right now. We're hearing all kinds of interesting rumors and ideas about what exactly happened last night. I just found a post on Reddit where a guy said 99 days ago, after the Luka trade, I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, some way, Cooper Flag ends up on Dallas. Somehow, some way. It's crazy, man. In some ways, you know what? I'm going to take this philosophy and things with the draft lottery. The draft lottery has three winners, the three teams that leapt up into the top three. And they were two teams that were behind us in draft odds, San Antonio and Dallas, that leapfrogged everybody. Now, some of the teams in the draft lottery got worse spots, fell further. In fact, New Orleans fell 4 spots lower than where they were supposed to pick, which is an absolute fail. In fact, you could say that's a times 2 what we felt, which is 2. So in the draft lottery, really, there's 3 winners, which is Dallas, obviously, San Antonio, and Philadelphia. And every single other team in the lottery is a fail and has been disappointed because of dropping because of this. So the way Raptors fans feel today is not any different than Nets fan, Chicago fan, Washington fan, Utah fan, New Orleans fan. You know, there's a lot of fan nations, even Hornets fan. Hornets fan, we probably thought they were going to get a top 3 pick for sure. Well, they got the 4th pick. And even in a way, that is slightly disappointing right there. So seriously, let's think about this, Raptors fans who are freaking out and saying all this crazy garbage about losing all year just to get the 9th pick. Well, look at how Utah or Washington lost all year. And look where they're picking, like 5th and 6th. 6th for the Utah, for Washington. Washington had one of the worst years this year. Didn't they have the worst record? And they're going to pick 6th, y'all. So don't even give me this crap about, oh, boo-hoo, we should have lost more. Well, Washington lost more. Where are they sitting? The 6th spot. So it's kind of like Raptors fans, just pick up the pieces and just let's move on. Let's just go. It would have been nice to have been higher in the draft, but it didn't work out that way. And in some ways, this may work out better for us in a couple different ways. There's more information coming in. Like Mike sent a message on the Discord this morning saying that the Raptors being the 9th pick in the draft is more conducive for us to keep Jakob Poeltl longer, to keep him under contract longer, because the money will be easier to manage. So there's all kinds of bright spots in the outcome of what happened last night. We're still going to get a top 10 draft pick, and there's still very good quality till like 12 in the draft. So it's not like the drop off from 7 to 8 is like vast. Seriously isn't. And knowing our front office, we should trust them and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to say this right now. Raptors fans, focus on us. Do not focus on Dallas. Do not focus on San Antonio or the Sixers. I know that does bug me too. Trust me, Nameless. That does bug me too, that the Sixers are getting a top 3 pick. But let's focus on ourselves. And ourselves is we've got a great, exciting young core that we developed through a winning style and winning attitude instead of tanking on purpose like the Sixers did. Lost a lot of games on purpose this last year. They probably going to lose a lot of games this year too, even with their draft pick and people coming back healthy. Trust me, the Sixers are not, they're still broken and messed up. Trust me. So, you know, we work on ourselves. We got Brandon coming. We've got this great rookie class from last year, and we got another rookie coming at the 9th pick this year. So there's nothing to be upset about. We're going to be great. We're going to be fantastic next year. And some of the Raptors fans who are acting out on social media right now in different ways, some of them mad at Masai. I don't understand that. Why are you mad at Masai? What did he do? What did he do to you? Why are you mad at Masai? It's so stupid. It's so dumb. Once again, it's stuff I said like 6 months ago was exactly right. We don't determine where we pick, y'all. The lottery balls do. And everybody going on and on about we should lose on purpose. It didn't freaking matter. It didn't freaking matter. In some ways, the ping pong balls don't care if you tank. Obviously, Washington Wizards. The ping pong balls don't care if you tank Utah Jazz. So that's just how it is. Deal with it. And in some ways, we're dealing with it very well. We're set up real nice for next year. Either way, Raptors fans. So just chill out. Seriously. People say, oh, we don't have a top pick. Well, we got Brandon Ingram coming in. Now, that man was a top pick. He was a top 3 pick. And that man is an all-star. And he's proven in a lot of ways way more than any of these youngsters coming in with the draft this year. So that's what I would say to people. All right, let me try and get through these comments in the next 10 minutes. And then we'll do the trivia game. Trevor's here first. Commissioner of Fun, Trevor J. Good to see you this morning. Difficult situations in life should not break us, but make us tougher. Do not sink in sorrow, but rise with hope and confidence. I like that. That's good words of wisdom for today. Like, who's sinking in sorrow about what happened in the draft lottery last night? If you are, man, you're too easily manipulated to be sad. Come on. Toughen up. It's just a draft lottery. It's not even the draft. And we know that Masai and Bobby going to get it right, even at number 9. It didn't matter. In some ways, this is actually kind of an interesting place to pick. The mock drafts are all over the place right now. ESPN thinks we'll get Colin Murray Boyles. The Athletic is saying we will get Derek Queen. Another place is saying, the Ringer, I think, is saying that we'll still get Common Malawach. So it's all over the place. At least they understand that the Raptors are looking big and that all the mock drafts are coming out with big men that we're drafting at that spot. Well, I'll have to go do a deeper dive on Colin. And we'll definitely do something with Derek Queen on the Thursday Think Tank soon, too, because we're going to have to go over the very likely candidates that the Toronto Raptors might select with the 9th pick this year. We'll have to see. Yeah, Trevor J. saying, Knicks take Game 4. Yeah, once again, the Knicks fans took over the streets in New York last night, going crazy. Our JYD was in the thick of it, getting interviewed by Stephen A. Smith at the game. We're in the Knicks, orange and blue. Well, he is Knicks Nation also. And I can't fault the JYD for being there and enjoying the festivities and stuff like that. But yeah, the Knicks beat the Celtics last night in a game where, the Celtics were playing very well early, but then things just kind of fell apart as the game went on. And the Knicks, man, tenacious and really getting after it and doing the right things. And boom goes the dynamite. Celtics, the defending champions, are down 3-1 in the Eastern Conference semifinals. And it's looking like, one more, they're out. They're out. We'll have to see if they get Scott Foster for the referee in the next game to extend the series. We'll have to see. But yeah, this is crazy. Minnesota also winning last night against the Warriors. This is great. This is great. 2 teams that have gotten a lot of help from the NBA over the years. The Celtics and the Warriors are failing in their series right now. Of course, injuries are a huge part of it. Steph Curry not playing is a huge void for the Warriors. And of course, Warriors Nation is going to use their old excuse as always. Oh, our players were hurt. They weren't there. Oh, our players are hurt. They weren't there. That's why we lost. Yeah, whatever. You guys need next man up. You're going to miss somebody. You better have somebody who's going to try and take care of things after them. And, well, you lose, you lose. And, well, Minnesota's in the driver's seat now. Anthony Edwards giving a really good halftime speech, apparently, for the game last night that got them all out there and really attacking. Julius Randle, you were an unsung NBA star. And in some ways, I'm really rooting for you, man. You've been fantastic this playoff series. And I want to see the Minnesota Timberwolves get to the next round and eliminate the Golden State Warriors. Well, 3-1. It's just like the Knicks and the Celtics. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, Jason Tatum had to leave the game last night with an injury. That does not bode well for Boston at all. And he apparently was crying because he was so upset about being hurt right at the end. I'm telling you, man, this is what happens when the NBA allows real playoff basketball to come back. The softies are exposed. I'm just saying. Because this is the style of play that they played in the 80s and 90s. And all of a sudden, younger generation getting a look at real playoff basketball. And people like Trevor J are reveling in it. Oh, they really play in the playoffs this year for real, like they used to. And, well, these younger generations been soft and getting soft treatment by the refs in the last couple of years. Well, they're finding out. This is what the real playoffs were like for people like Larry Bird and Isaiah Thomas. So Sorry, it's just like, hey, we're back to business on how we supposed to do the playoffs exactly right. Some people say, no, this isn't right. Bullshit, this isn't right. You can go ask Scotty Barnes. He'd tell you this is the right way to play the playoffs. The physicality, the compete, the tenacity, the strong drive to want it. In some ways, that stuff shows that this isn't a lazy league. This isn't an easy league. This is the stuff that shows how it is hard to win in this league, and it's tough, and you got to be tough to do it. And in some ways, that's part of the reason why I don't respect the era of LeBron, is because we got too damn soft in the 2010s with the referees calling things for superstar players like they're quarterbacks in the NFL. And I ain't having that. So now we're seeing the real stuff this year all of a sudden. And it's, you know what? The playoffs are 1,000 times more entertaining. The games are way more interesting and because of what's going on right now. So I'm all about it. That's right. In some ways, you know, the softer generation is getting exposed right now. Seriously, getting exposed. Trevor's saying, I called it yesterday, Lex. The Knicks will win, and tonight Indiana will win too. Yeah, they're going to play game 5 of Indiana and Cleveland. And of course, Indiana's up 3-1, which is fantastic. They've been playing real playoff style, which I'm very impressed with Indiana Pacers. They've been building something with their franchise over the last couple of years, something substantial, getting to the Eastern Conference Finals last year against Boston. Well, they're going to go further than Boston this year, it looks like. And that's fantastic. Tonight for their game, the referees are James Capers. James Capers is the crew chief. He favors the Pacers. Ben Taylor is the referee. It's split. It's very, very close, but he's just slightly favors the Pacers more than Cavs. And Mark Lindsay, the family guy, is the umpire. He favors the Pacers also. So it's a very favorable ref crew for the Pacers on the road in game 5 against the Cavs tonight. So we'll have to see what happens. Out in Oklahoma City for game 5, Denver and Thunder, they are actually tied 2-2. Zach Zarba will be the crew chief. He heavily favors the Nuggets. David Guthrie is the referee. He heavily favors the Nuggets. And Curtis Blair is the umpire. Curtis Blair's best record with any team in the league is the Oklahoma City Thunder. So that's the refs for the other game. Only one ref really statistically record-wise favors the Thunder, and that's Curtis Blair, the third ref. Zach Zarba and David Guthrie favor the Nuggets. Kevin Scott is in the replay center tonight. So that's your ref report for tonight's playoff games. It's looking good for Indiana, even though they're on the road with Cleveland. It is going to be tough. It'll be tough to win this series in Cleveland. I think it's more likely that they'll lose tonight and they will play in game 6 in Indiana, and they will win that one to close the series out. So we'll see. Although road teams have done very well in this playoff. That's the crazy thing. The road teams are winning a high percentage of games, way more than most years. I think that this is a symbol of them letting them play a little bit more out there and free, physical like they used to. That's right. Mo's here. Good morning to Monique Lawrence, the super fan. Good morning, Raptor Freak crew. Good morning to you, Mo. Of course, Mo's birthday party is next month, June the 7th at the NBA restaurant. It's a Saturday. The reservation is for 5:30. We'd like to invite the Raptor Freak family to come on down to the Queen's Key NBA restaurant official in Toronto, downtown. The first one ever of its kind in the NBA was built here in Toronto. And, we had a fantastic time there last year for Mo's birthday. We're going to do it again, and it's June the 7th. It's a Saturday. The reservation time is 5:30 p.m. So come on down to the Queen's Key and the NBA restaurant, and we'll celebrate Superfan Mo, the number one fan of the Toronto Raptors, for her birthday. So I hope many of y'all can come. That'd be a great, great time. I hope that y'all will. We had a blast last year. I'll be there, so you can come down there and hang out with me too. So that's the cool thing. Yeah. Trevor's saying they already started. Should Mavericks trade the number 1 pick for Giannis? Yeah. I'm going to say this right now. The more I think about it, I think that the Mavericks should just bring in Cooper Flag. In some ways, this is the kind of thing where it's like, I mean, I could see them doing some funny stuff, but I think it's more likely that we're going to see either San Antonio or Philadelphia try and trade their pick. I don't know for sure. San Antonio is probably the most likely to trade because they have 2 rookies of the year in a row. They're going to get the second pick in this draft too. In some ways, that's not necessarily what they want to do. And they really do have strong overtures that they would love to land Antetokounmpo. So if I'm going to pick any of the top teams in the draft to trade to try and get Giannis, it's San Antonio, guys. I'm telling you right now, it's San Antonio. In some ways, they have the pieces and the things around them. Think about it. If they draft Dylan Harper at number 2, he's coming into a team that has Steph Castle and De'Aaron Fox on it already. And in some ways, he doesn't fit with this team. In some ways, this pick is not necessary for the Spurs. And they could package it with one of the players that's already on their team and send it to Milwaukee and land Giannis. I could see this very much happening, guys. In some ways, the allure of Giannis playing with Victor is a very, very curious, interesting idea. I don't hate this because, once again, my Western Conference team is the San Antonio Spurs. So if they're good and they're winning, I'm happy because they're the team I root for over on that side the most. That's right. That's right. James saying, I don't want the Spurs trading for Giannis, rather Dallas or Houston. Well, we'll have to see how that all goes. I mean, seriously, of course, this is all speculation. This is not the kind of stuff I like to talk about, but the Giannis smoke is coming up. It's billowing. There is smoke rising about the movement of Giannis from Milwaukee, and that he is saying he's exploring trade options with the team because he's open to being traded finally for the first time in his career. Most of his career, he has been like, no, I'm not leaving. I'm Milwaukee no matter what. But that has changed. This postseason, since the Bucks went out real early, he is open to being traded at this point. And that's the big difference right there. Wemby and Giannis is tough. Yeah, I ain't going to hate on that. I love watching that. Me personally, I like it. But I'm a Spurs fan, so I would be getting behind that. James is saying, Lex, if Malawach and Queen is picked before 9th, who do you want for the Raptors? Well, I did say Asa Newell before, but I'm seeing Asa is like picked 14th or something like that. I'm not totally sure. Maybe Colin Murray Boyles that people are putting in the drafts, but I've heard he's undersized and not totally exactly. He'd be a power forward, but he wouldn't be a center. So it's kind of I don't know. I'm going to do a little bit more work on this. And for the Thursday Think Tank, we're going to go over this a lot in 2 days from now. So we will definitely go over this. There's a lot of people saying that Common might still drop till 9, and we might be able to still get him. So Isaac's saying dunk at Mo for always being a champion. Yeah, let's give Monique Lawrence a dunk right here from Isaac Campbell. A little early birthday gift from Isaac to Mo. I love it. I love it. And she put Scotty in there too. I love it. Scotty's in there because we know he's a championship guy coming up too. He's going to be a champion someday too. So Mo's at 60. That's her 20th dunk of the year so far. There you go, Monique. Boom goes the dynamite. Thank you, Isaac, for the assist. Mo's saying, I think many fans need to relax with the Raptors draft numbers. Trusting Masai, shaking my head. Man, the reactions. I know. It's immature. In some ways, it's like, oh, we want Cooper all year long. And then when they don't get Cooper, they're like little toddlers that whine on the floor. And I'm just like, why are y'all doing this? Seriously, have some dignity for yourselves. Like, seriously, the one thing I would teach young people and people that are in consternation over the events of last night is understand what you can and cannot control. Because a lot of y'all acting like y'all could control the draft, or Masai could, or anybody could. No, they can't. Well, maybe Adam Silver on the down low with a very hidden kind of agenda to help Dallas. But I would say this, y'all can't control the draft. The draft is something that just happens, the draft lottery. And y'all need to let that go. That's one of the items of the serenity prayer that I use for AA, being an alcoholic. You have to understand what you can control and what you can't. If you can't control this, if you're having consternation and sadness and problems because of it, that's your own damn fault because you couldn't control it. It's how you have to handle it is the grace that you have. You can't control anything but your reaction. And some of y'all acting fools from last night. So you failed and lost in the game of understanding what you can and can't control because you could control your reaction. And y'all are acting like idiots, some of y'all out there in Raptors Nation, as far as reacting to this in very crazy, weird ways. Listen, once again, this whole thing about tank culture, tanking for the season or trying to get the draft, over importance of the draft is really stupid. I'm sick of it. This league is not just about draft picks. It's about trades. It's about veterans. It's about team building. It's about coaches. It's about GMs. And it's not just about a guy named Flag who came into this league from high school in Maine. None of this shit is the most important thing. It's just that y'all get this brained in your head all this over and over again. Over importance. The thing that's more important, I'm going to tell you, is going to help the team way more than any of these draft picks next year is Brandon Ingram. So once again, I'm going to say this to Raptors Nation. Understand what you can and cannot control, and you can control your reaction, and you don't have to look like an idiot in your reaction. That's what Monique and I are saying right here. Seriously, I double down with Mo on this right here. Yeah, the reactions, what? Shaking my head. Exactly. Nako saying, I think we're getting Colin Murray Boyles or Yaskuzins, the Lithuanian guard. Those are some players with good processing and size. Spurs should trade the second and Castle for Giannis. That might be the trade right there. It could be De'Aaron Fox in the pick for Giannis. You know, in some ways they don't necessarily need De'Aaron Fox there. He just showed up for a second and boom, he's out, man. Hey, interesting comments, Gerald. Good to see you this morning, my guy. And he's saying, fuck Dallas. Yeah, there's some bullshit here, man. I'm telling you, they had to do this to appease the Mavericks nation because they are so disenchanted with the franchise. You know, their ticket sales were probably going to plummet this offseason because of the Nico debacle with Luka. And so in some ways, Adam Silver is probably like, we have to give them Cooper Flag because they're going to stop coming to the games and this team may be in trouble for running out of business. I'm telling you, I totally believe in this bullshit that this kind of stuff could be going on. It's just too conveniently weird. The team that had the least chance of getting the number one pick got the number one pick after they traded their franchise generational player to the Lakers. I'm telling you, this is just too lining up and suspicious as hell. Suspicious as hell. And like I said, the added effects are Luka goes to the Lakers, the ratings of the NBA go up, which is what they needed last year. And well, now the Mavericks franchise is in trouble because their fans are revolting and talking about not buying any more tickets, not coming to games. They're in trouble. Well, this is a good way to try and lure them back, is give them the number one pick, Cooper Flag, and say, well, here you go, Mavs fans. Now are you excited about coming back to the arena? Seriously, you don't have to be dumb to see right through all this to understand the motives for how this situation and working out like this is exactly what they need for certain things. Because seriously, the Mavericks franchise could be in real big trouble next season without something new and shiny to make the people want to come and buy tickets. Seriously, if I was a Mavs fan after what happened this season, I would be like, yeah, fuck them. I'm never coming back. So them handed them Cooper Flag. This is part of it. This is part of it. I'm telling you right now, this is part of it. Randolph Phillips is here. Good to see Randolph. I hope you had an amazing birthday on Sunday, on Mother's Day, Randolph. I hope you've been doing really well. Blessings, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. It's the morning after. Do not panic, but pull all your energy into making the best out of the worst situation. Don't self-destruct. I don't even think this is the worst situation. This isn't a bad situation at all. The Raptors are in the top 10 of a very deep draft, a draft that some people have said is 12 deep. Maybe sure, there's a tier of 3 at the top, but after that tier, pretty much 4 to 12 are all comparable talents. So it's not like this is a bad thing that's happened. It's just people are over-dramatizing, overreacting. Seriously. The Raptors are still in the top 10 of the draft, and as the history of the Raptors in top 9, three picks that they picked at 9 in their history, well, 2 of them are Hall of Famers, and one of them is the current starting center for our team. I don't think the Raptors have a problem with drafting 9th. Tracy McGrady's already in the Hall of Fame, and DeMar DeRozan will be in the Hall of Fame when he's done also. And then what? The other 9th pick was Jakob Poeltl. I think the Raptors have done pretty good drafting number 9 in their history. Seriously, 2 Hall of Famers and the current starting center of our team. That's pretty damn good. I'm going to say that right there. Yeah. Most saying, congratulations, Lily Singh. Toronto Tempo got 2 meter 2 years ago through Tia Bhatia. Yeah, I was going to do this on the Instagram stories, so I'll go ahead and do it. We'll do everything kind of opposite. We'll do the trivia at some point. Let's do the Instagram stories real quick. First, Toronto Tempo Prez, Teresa Resch is celebrating the 6-year birthday of the Kawhi shot, which was on Sunday, I think. The Kawhi shot was yesterday. And then she's got the schedule for the Toronto Tempo weekend overview for May 2-4 with all the events going on in Toronto, like on the court, fan camp, Toronto Tempo talks, music curation, and Tempo collection stuff. You got RSVP. See you there is what she's saying. And here it is. She's made the announcement. They got this is supposed to be the chief hype officer is what they're calling the position for her. Lily Singh, who formerly had an NBC late night talk show for a couple of years before the pandemic. She's from here in Toronto, and she was a YouTube person or some sort of personality online, and she got famous from being on, like, making creative clips online. And then she got a TV show and went all the way to LA and was on NBC for a while. So they've hired her on the Tempo. I don't know what to do. Maybe she's going to be the host or something like that. Maybe she's going to be like somebody who does like hosting for things that they're going to do. Like maybe she's going to be like a Keel Augustine or a Cabby for the Toronto Tempo squad. Maybe I could see that. Either way, Lily Singh is involved. I'm not surprised by that. That totally makes sense. I mean, that's a good fit as far as things. Let's see what else. JYD, like I said, he's getting birthday wishes from people, and he was in New York celebrating Knicks Nation and getting in the jubilation of the win over last night, which is really, really good for them. Let's see what else we got. We got Andrew Jones out in the street with his kids shooting baskets, and still Supermom competition still going on with his wife. So keep voting for Coach Andrew Jones's wife, Julia. She got advanced to the top 5 apparently for Supermom. Let's see what else we got. It looks like Jamal Shedd's putting on blast Houston as usual, Houston Cougars, which is good. Lindsey Dunn was interviewing a couple of Canadian legends last night, and they were Mike Myers and Colin Mockery, which is pretty cool. She's on the red carpet doing the entertainment interviewing other than the sports interviewing, and Mike Myers had a Leaf flag on his a Leaf symbol on his shirt when he was there. That's pretty good. The open gym guys were at the draft lottery. There's a picture. One of them took a picture at the draft lottery. Of course, Bobby was in the back watching the ping pong balls come through. I have to correct myself. Mike was right. Doug Smith was in the back at the lottery ball selection. He was an overseer yesterday. He just wrote a really awkward Blue Skies post, which made it sound like he had been in the past, but he wasn't there last night. But then he was actually there watching and observing, saying there was no shenanigans. But I don't believe you, Doug. Seriously, I don't believe you. The outcome is shenanigans. Maybe there's no shenanigans in the process, but there's definitely shenanigans to the outcome of the lottery last night. Shenanigans for sure. I'm telling you, man. It's really, really crazy. But yeah, Raptors official admin is like picking it up. So we're officially going to pick in this draft number 9 and number 39. So those are the 2 picks. The pick for 39, ESPN is saying we're going to pick the point guard from Auburn at that spot. So they're saying we're going to pick a backup point guard in the second round. So yeah, 9 and 39. Those are the numbers for the Raptors in the draft this year as far as our draft. Let's see. AJ Lawson still putting in that work at SMU in Dallas. So he's in Dallas. Slim Duck has some goofy guy talking about get it right. I don't even know what he's talking about. He's talking about millennials and Generation X. I'm not sure what he's doing there. SGA looks like he's going into combat for the game tonight. Very interesting. Norman's back to work. He's got to scratch the itch. He's back on the court. He must have taken the time off since the playoffs, but now he's back working on his game in the gym. So Norman Powell's back to work. Let's see. And here we go. We got Leo Routens with his words of wisdom just coming in right now. Holding a grudge doesn't make you strong. It makes you bitter. Forgiving doesn't make you weak. It sets you free. There you go, Leo. There's your life tips from Leo and the Instagram stories in general. So yeah, Lily Singh is going to be the chief hype officer of the Toronto Tempo. I think that may be like a role like a Keel or something like that. I don't know. She's probably not going to be doing sideline reporting. Is she going to do like little segments for them, like little sit downs with the players and people and personalities and do interviews with them? I don't know. I want to know more about this. Is she just going to appear in advertising and just kind of show up and say, hey, Toronto Tempo, come down to the arena? We'll have to see what this job entails. She's not going to be commentating on the games. It's going to be probably something like Cabby. I'll bet you she'll be like Cabby, something like that. Nako saying, I don't expect Common or Queen to fall to us. Would be pleasantly surprised if they did. I don't expect Common, but there is a good chance that Derek Queen could. There is a good chance. You know, these mock drafts are weird. They're all over the place. In some ways, once again, I don't care about any mock drafts and what they're saying. As long as they're kind of projecting us to draft big, I care about the list that Masai and Bobby have secretly that nobody knows about. Because those guys have all these draft prospects in an order that they think is the order that they should be in. And their order may be nothing like most of the other teams in the league. So that's what I'm going to count on. That Bobby and Masai have sussed out all these different players. By the time the draft comes up, through the combine, through interviews and workouts at OVO Center, with Kai's coming up here to work out for us in the next couple weeks, and they'll have the best knowledge of who the true best pick is for number 9 and who is available when it gets to that. So I don't know. I've heard Queen could be still there, Nako, just so you know. Stargate saying, well, Nako, get ready to be presently surprised, because at least one of them will definitely fall to 9. The bigger question is if those are actually players Bobby and Masai are looking at. Boom goes a dynamite. It's almost like Stargate and I are thinking from the same brain. I'm saying the exact same thing he's saying here. We're going to see what their hierarchy of order is for who they care about getting to our team. Stargate's also saying the players we, the fans, may feel like we want in our team are not necessarily the players Bobby and Masai are looking at. My pick is and has been Derek Queen, but since I am not Raps management, hang on, what was the next part he said? All right, y'all. It means fuck all what me or any of us think. Bobby and Masai know what they're doing. Well, we kind of line up with them sometimes. I mean, Koloko was somebody we had picked and said, yeah, we'd love to get Christian Koloko. And boom, they went and got Christian Koloko. So in some ways, we are thinking alike with them sometimes, but not always. I mean, I did not pick Grady Dick. That was different. I was wanting them to pick Jordan Hawkins, but they took Grady Dick. And I'm very happy that they did that. So there's a little bit of that. Jacoby Walter was very, very much a late pickup of a player who should have went higher. And I think they just got really good value on him. But he was not someone we were really talking about a lot leading up to the draft last year, as far as who are the Raptors going to pick with their 19th pick. So I think this is a similar kind of thing in some ways, but maybe a little bit easier to gauge than Grady Dick or Jacoby Walter, because it is the 9th pick. It's closer in. So we'll have to see. Stargate saying Philly is going to suck next season. They will be in the Boozer Twins sweepstake next season. I think that they're still in trouble because, first of all, I'm going to say this once again. Joel Embiid may be done. Like he's not going to get any healthier. He's had the same problems with knees over and over again. How many surgeries is he going to have on his knees, and how washed is he going to be? The man has not had the legs to get them far in the playoffs anyway. So why is he going to get any better after having so many surgeries and looking so washed? And they absolutely have to rely on him to win. So how can you count on a player like him, health-wise, to take you all the way to the top? You can't. So either way, I think the Sixers, even with the 3rd pick and this weird convoluted thing that happened, I mean, we should look at the bright side of things. At least Oklahoma City didn't get a top 10 pick. How about that? We can look at the bright side on this. In some ways, that's the bright side of it, is that Oklahoma City didn't get the pick. Philly gets to keep it. And we know Philly is inept, and they will bumble this. They will bumble this. In fact, if there is a bust in the top 3 picks, I'm going to bet that Philadelphia is the one who will get them. Seriously, especially since they're picking 3rd. So it's like if there is a bust between Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper, Philadelphia will get them. Watch. Stargate saying Giannis is going to Lakers or Dallas. Read the tea leaves, folks. No, I don't see that. There's too much in both of them. Like if they did send Giannis to Lakers, how the hell do they do that? Does Luka go the other way? Does LeBron go the other way? No, I just don't see this, Stargate. That's a little too far-fetched to me. Dallas is fine now. Like Seymour said, they got Cooper, Kyrie, AD, and Klay Thompson. And that's a pretty good core to build around there. They don't necessarily need to get Giannis. In fact, Cooper fits really nice with the Mavericks. He does. He fits with that team. Smith saying, remember, it's salary for salary, though. So if the Spurs do trade that 2nd pick for Giannis, they would have to include a handful of guys to match. That's what I'm saying. They trade De'Aaron Fox. With that draft pick for Giannis. It'd be something like that. It may be De'Aaron Fox and 2-bit players, like at the end of their bench. Maybe they have to trade Keldon Johnson, something like that with him. But if you're San Antonio, you do that because you'll have Wemby, Giannis, Steph Castle still possibly, along with Sohan and other people on that team. So I could see that, Reggie. I could see it. San Antonio is highly likely, seriously. If there is going to be a Giannis sweepstakes, even though the Spurs are not listed, they are going to be a big player in this because of that draft pick they got last night. Nako's saying, yeah, right. Before the Raptors pick last year, I thought Yves Missy was a Raptor. Yeah, with Jacoby Walter was totally out of left field. Now I was monitoring Jacoby because I knew he was the best available for a while, and then it was like when he got close to us, I was like, well, if they pick Jacoby, that's huge value. That's huge value because we were hearing Jacoby Walter should have been a top 10 pick in the year before, and in some ways he's looking like it already. Like he could develop into being like the thing I keep saying. I've said recently that I want Jacoby to become for us next year is Benedict Mathurin. I would love for him to be a similar type player as Benedict, as far as a possible guy who's scoring 20 off the bench for us as the first guy off the bench, a bench scorer like Benedict. That'd be fantastic. If Jacoby Walter, because he's not going to get the start, if he could become a quick scorer off the bench like Mathurin, that is the role we need him to do next year. If he gets 20-point games off the bench on the regular like Benedict, woo, that's what we need from him right there, right there. Boom goes the dynamite. That's right. That's right. Fiercey's here. Good to see Fiercey. Good morning, fam, and happy trivia day. Number 9 is good. Yeah, number nine. Johnny 5, number 5 is alive. number nine. Yeah, it's cool. RJ's number. I don't mind this. I mean, seriously, this was the third best chance that we'd get the 9th pick. It's really kind of a weird system. And man, it's so screwy at this point. Like, seriously, we shouldn't have fallen this far. Masai was like, kind of like, what? Why are we at 9th? Who jumped up? It's like, and like Masai said after the lottery, he's saying, these things are crazy. Sometimes they're just like this. And this was a wild one, is what, according to Masai. But, you know, even though they weren't exactly jubilant, they're okay. They know what to do with their jobs. And they're not panicking or weird about this either, like some of Raptors Nation is. It's like Masai and Bobby going to get the best player at 9. Trust me. And well, it's too bad it's not 7. It's too bad it's not 4, but it's 9. And well, we're there and we're going to do the best with what it is. That's right. Smooth saying, I also think it's very likely the Spurs get Giannis. He already said he wouldn't mind playing for a no state tax team. NBA had rigged it to help San Antonio as well. It's all pointing that direction. Yeah, I think that in some ways, the 3 teams that got the benefit of last night were all had very weird reasons for the NBA to help them. And I think that Reggie's pointed out the reason for San Antonio. It's obvious the reason for Dallas. And even Philly. Philly is such a disappointment this last year. In some ways, them giving them a top 3 pick in a down year like this when they were supposed to be a top team in the league, this just smacks of Tim Duncan, David Robinson kind of bullshit. You know, when Joel Embiid's out for most of the season, David Robinson's out for most of the season, they get Tim Duncan. So I feel like that is something that the NBA, and once again, I'm going to say this is going to backfire on them. They can try and prop up Philadelphia artificially with help like this, but they will fumble because Daryl Morey is an idiot. And they are a dysfunctional team with a coach that is not a player coach, that does not handle people very well in some ways. And that's funny to see both those idiots at the table celebrating this. It's almost like that's part of the plan. Why would they show a table of Philadelphia people and have them prominently up front if they weren't setting up that they were going to move up in the draft? That's something you got to ask yourself. Did we have a Toronto table out there? Did the Nets have a Brooklyn table out there sitting with people from our team? Maybe. But did they have the cameras ready to go to them and put them on them? No. And why would they be so featured prominently? I'm telling you, man, it's fishy as hell. But once again, Philadelphia can get all the help in the world. They'll fumble it and be a failure no matter what still. They ain't won since 83. And they can continue to not win and not get anywhere. Trust me. And the big reason why is because they got Embiid as their main player. That's right. That's the big reason why. But yeah, it's rigged. It's rigged. I feel like it is totally rigged. Before Mike had me convinced that it's all on the up and up, and then the results and everything happened, I was totally with Stargate after that. I'm like, yeah, Stargate's right. This shit is so rigged. So rigged. And I think everybody, that's the general consensus around the league right now, that this draft lottery was completely rigged. I think that that's more common sentiment than, oh, this is just on the up and up. No, I think most people that are NBA fans are saying this shit is so rigged and so convoluted. Seriously. Cool Cat saying, good morning, Rapid Free crew. Well, NBA really messing with its reputation. Luka is the trade that keeps giving. Yeah, that's like messing with their reputation. Just pull the veil down and just show us that it's all scripted, that y'all are sports entertainment, that y'all are trying to do Vince McMahon shit over here. I mean, seriously, yeah. Nako saying Boyles does look pretty strong. Well, he's undersized to be a center. He could be a true power forward. I think that's when I scouted him, what I said. is that I don't like him for the role that we want because he's not actually a true center. He doesn't have the height. He may be very strong and he may be a true power forward, but I wanted the height. I wanted the height. I want a true center. And that's why he wasn't on my favored list to want. You know, it'll help, I guess, to have another rebounder and more defense, but we wanted the center. And in some ways, it's the rim protection and the shot blocking that I want. That's what I want. And maybe Boyles has some of that. Let's see. Reggie's saying, honestly, tanking would have not made a difference. Dallas and San Antonio won more than the Raptors, and they got 1 and 2. Utah, the team that was tanking the most, 5. Worst possible outcome for them. Exactly. That's why all year long I said it doesn't matter what we do with our record. We should try and win out the whole time because it won't help us in this situation. The ping pong balls are going to rule everything. And I said this consistently all through the year, and y'all believe me, but a lot of idiots out there in Tank Nation did not. And that's why the whole idea of Leo Routens being on the broadcast for the Raptors touting this as like, Leo, you're an idiot. Why are you saying this crap? Seriously, it's not useful. In fact, you're making Raptors fans stupider by going in this route. And they hear a bona fide person like you on the broadcast saying, the Raptors need to stop winning so much. They start parroting what you're saying, Leo Routens. I'm so disappointed in you for being a feeder of tank mentality to the Raptors nation this season. It was such a stupid thing, Leo. You're an old player. You competed. You should be like not putting forward this kind of bullshit, Leo Routens. And maybe in the future, when there's a situation like this, possibly in the Raptors' future, you won't do this again. Because the lesson has been learned, Leo Routens. As of last night, tanking does not work. And I've said this all along, y'all. I've said this all along. Tanking does not work. And everybody who thinks tanking is a real strategy, you need to shut the fuck up, is what I got to say. And Monique is like, yeah, Lex, go on now. That's what she said. Yeah, Lex, tell them. I'm saying it's not a real strategy. It does not work. And last night proved it. Josh Lundberg admitted it in his Blue Skies tweet last night. He said, yeah, the tanking didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered if the Raptors lost more. It wouldn't have mattered. So everybody who's mad at Masai or us winning too much, get over yourself. You're idiots. And that is not how this went down. Seriously. It's crazy, man. It's crazy, man. That's right. G's saying some of us have been saying the lottery's rigged. It has been for some time. Yeah, I mean, I guess they could rig it for Atlanta last year on a year that the draft sucks, and that won't be a big deal. Here, Atlanta, here's a bone. We'll give you the number 1 pick on a year that it doesn't matter. But here, Dallas, this year really matters. And we just made you trade your best player to the Lakers to help spice up attention on the team, on the league. So here's your compensation, Cooper Flag. It's like somebody said last night, they completed the trade of the Luka trade finally last night. And I feel like that's true, G. I do. Fiercely saying it was so funny to see the Dallas front office video of them cheering and clapping. Thing is, the camera was at butt levels, so we couldn't see the acting and fake reactions. That's hilarious. Maybe there was a butt dial there in honor of Kareem Thomas. A little bit of butt cam action. Okay. Yeah, they're like, woo, yay. Nico, you're the best. Some people trying to say Nico Harrison's a genius. Bullshit. There's nothing Nico's done as a genius. This isn't like Masai Ujiri taking the risk of trading DeMar DeRozan for Kawhi Leonard. That's a genius, risky-ass move. Trading Luka this year was not a genius move like this. I'm sorry. If you make the argument to me that what Nico Harrison has done in the last year is a genius, no. It's the NBA holding his hand and giving him what they wanted to give him. There's nothing he did skill-wise to get this pick. It's a luck lottery, and the NBA obviously wanted to funnel him Cooper Flag. So everybody who's touting Nico this, Nico's the one this, like Seymour said last night, I cringed when he said that. Nico Harrison wins. Bullshit, he doesn't win. He's a pariah. The fans still hate him, and the NBA handed him this shit. This isn't like a Ujiri move where he traded DeRozan for Leonard and got a championship. There's no risk in this. In fact, this is the opposite. He's got the NBA handing him things and doing things for him without him having any skill or knowledge or luck or anything. The luck is the NBA wants to help him. So it's like anybody saying he's a genius or, wow, he won this, bullshit. They handed him this shit. You know they did. And it's compensation for having the balls to trade him and take all the hate from people, the death threats, and all the hate from Mavericks fan nation. That's right. That's the part of it too. It's like, oh, is this part of the getting back from Nico? First of all, we know Nico's a malignant narcissist, just like Donald Trump, and he has no way of taking accountability for anything he does. You've seen it with the way he talks and the way he's acted since this Luka trade. He's totally out of touch with reality, and he's in his own ass, up in his own ego. And that, that's part of it too, right there. So Nico Harrison, 2-finger salute for you. And I could see them on the screen because I'm lower. Let's see. All right, let's see. G saying also feels like the league is punishing tanking. 2 years in a row, they play-in team won the lottery. Yeah, I mean, I can get behind that to a degree. Like, seriously, I don't bat an eye when Atlanta wins the lottery like last year. In some ways, I don't care. But this one's different. This one's very, very different. A team that was in the finals last year has a number 1 pick a year later. And that is not right. That is not right. In some ways, why would you reward a team that trades their franchise generational player and also falls from the finals all the way out of the playoffs with the number 1 pick? That's some ways that is not right there, just describing what I just said. You know what I'm saying? Smooth saying it makes some sense that the NBA is rigged, though. Cooper Flag in Dallas is more desirable than watching him in Washington or Utah. Yeah. And it could be that they had long-term goals for this, like we're saying, that in some ways they knew he couldn't be there with Luka. But if you bring in Cooper to replace Luka, it revitalizes that Dallas franchise. And in some ways, Nico Harrison, who he's making up shit like, oh, he's lazy, he doesn't try, and all this that's all bullshit. That's all bullshit to just make up an excuse for something in some ways that wasn't broken. They just have to make up some sort of excuse. So they sully Luka's name because the long-term goal is to replace him with Cooper Flag. So it's like, it's true. Reggie's right. This is a much more desirable, marketable place for Cooper Flag than those other teams. And part of the problem is, once again, just like Victor Wembanyama, they want to make sure a prospect like Cooper Flag goes to a capable team that won't fumble the ball with the superstar. If he goes to Washington, there's no telling. He could just languish and be not seen. And maybe they have no plans to try and market the Wizards in a major way in the league. Then they miss out on all kinds of stuff with seeing Cooper Flag in the league in certain ways because the Wizards just don't get national televised games. You know what I'm saying? Utah maybe could have been the right place, but they didn't want him there either. They put him in Dallas. And in some ways, we know that that's a market in some ways that's desirable with the history. And they don't mind putting them on their broadcast schedule, Dallas Mavericks. So that's a lot of it right there. I think Smooth is right. G saying, let's remember, SGA is a pick number 11. Giannis and Kawhi pick 15. And Sengun is a pick 16. Yeah, I'm not worried about picking at 9, especially with the strong draft class and the front office acumen that we have in Toronto. Because we're going to get the best player that's available at 9. And it's going to be the right person. I have full confidence in this. They're not going to bumble this. Trust me. Other teams will bumble the picks before us, before we bumble the pick in 9. Seriously. Really, really true. James saying Fleming is interesting too. Second coming of OG. Fleming. Yeah. He's somebody we'll have to see. Joker was 46 pick. Yeah. He was drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. Reggie saying whoever's drafted at 9 for the Raps will be part of the rotation right away. He won't have the luxury to develop at a slower pace. Well, it'll be somebody hopefully that is useful as a big, because that's what we need. We need a sizable big. So that's hopefully what will happen. And yeah, I don't mind them being like the 8th or 9th man in the rotation. That would be perfect, actually, kind of. Randolph saying, Lex, Toronto Raptors president Masai Ujiri smiled, gave his head a slight shake, and walked off the stage, checking his phone on the way. Yeah, they're not happy because they didn't move up, but they're not going to be like, oh, woe is me, oh, poor us, like some Raptors fans are. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. These are men, and they know what they're doing in their jobs, and they're confident that they're going to be fine no matter what. Seriously, guys. Stargate saying, nah, man, logical says it's impossible to rig and manipulate. Everything is all foolproof. The NBA is a league of impeccable integrity and honor, would never, ever manipulate things. Yeah, I know. Like, listen, I don't want you to attack him, Stargate. Mike wants to believe, and I do too. I wish ideally that the world was on the up and up, but we know that there's all kinds of cheating and conniving and weird shit going on in this world, all kinds of different ways. It just spawns from capitalism, honestly. Capitalism teaches people to cheat people to make money off of them. Scam this, scam that. That's why scam artists are out there trying to scam, is because that's the way it works. And in some ways, there's some of the biggest grifts in the world happening in the White House right now things that have to do with big, huge jet luxury planes and, grifting from the poor to give to the rich, the opposite of Robin Hood. So, this world's full of grifts. And honestly, the NBA is a grifting league too. I get it. But this is the way I look at it. We're in this league. We get to compete. If they're going to let them play like they did in the playoffs this year and leave it wide open, well, we have a chance. And that's all we want is what we want, a chance. The odds may be stacked against us. Some people may never want to see us do it again, but we will. We will, much to their chagrin. And that's the way we got to look at it right there. Yeah. Smooth saying Dallas is not going to contend next year, man. Kyrie missing next season, and most of it at least. Better to keep the first. Yeah. You know what? I don't hope that for Kyrie, but I do kind of. Because once again, I'm going to say the situation of Kyrie Irving being in Dallas is a hostage situation. That man should not be playing for the owner of that team. His own personal beliefs are absolutely in clash with her beliefs. And in some ways, like I said, if I was Kyrie Irving and he's so much a man of his faith and what he believes, I would not take the court ever again for the Dallas Mavericks. Seriously, because he actively plays on the court. He generates money for the owner who sends the money to Israel to bomb the Palestinians. So Kyrie, I don't know how you could sleep at night playing for the Mavericks. You should have been out of there as soon as they sold the team to this fucking horrible woman, Pamela. You should have gotten the hell out of there as soon as possible, because seriously, you are an economic driver, and now Cooper Flagg will be too, to provide bombs for Israel to kill men, women, and children of Palestinian descent in Gaza Strip. And that's just the damn truth of it. So Kyrie, take your time, man. Don't try and rush your injury coming back, man. Go ahead and take your time and make sure you're fully healed. And don't listen to any of the bullshit. And hell, demand a trade while you're at it. Why not? Demand a trade while you're at it, because that's what I want for him. Because seriously, if I was him, on principle, I wouldn't take the court just because of the owner of the Mavs. I wouldn't. On principle, I would not. I'd say, fuck you, Palestine. That's what I would say. That's what I would say. Because he can't even do anything with Palestine at this point, probably because she's such a dictator as the owner. She's like, I do not want Kyrie ever talking again for the Palestinian people, because she's like that. She's a fucking genocidal Netanyahu bullshit fuckface is what I'm saying right now. All right, let's keep going. Fiercely saying, respect to Jalen Brunson for interrupting the reporter on the first question and sending prayers to Jason Tatum, first and foremost. There you go. I mean, in some ways, you never want to see people get hurt. In some ways, as a competitor, you want to play the best of the other side. And I could see that being part of it there. But Jalen Brunson, he's been really huge in these playoffs. In fact, he's a big reason why they won last night. He's absolutely been huge for the Knicks. Absolutely. Blackhawks saying, whoever we get, the player will come off the bench. Yes. Yes. Hopefully they'll be one of the bigs. Maybe the backup center. They could be our backup center for next year. We'll have to see. Stargate saying, gee, I thought of that as well. The league trying to control the tanking thing. Either way, it's manipulated. Yeah. I mean, that's a nice byproduct of it, is to teach these teams that are really shitty to stop being shitty. It's like Jack Armstrong said, if you keep being at the bottom and stuff, you should be relegated out of the league instead of getting better. You're getting all these high draft picks and you're not getting anywhere. That's a problem. Nako's saying Dallas can be a hard first round team next year. If Nico's right about defense, Flagg, AD, and Lively can do something. Yeah, I'm not going to talk good things for them, Nako. In some ways, the Dallas Mavericks team is a team I hate right now. I love Kyrie, which is weird because I didn't like Kyrie like 4 years ago. But I like Kyrie now. I've got a lot more respect for him in a lot of different ways right now. And the rest of them, whatever. AD I've never liked. Klay Thompson I absolutely despise. And, well, I have a built-in not like for Cooper Flagg just because he's been thrown in my face all fucking year, just like Monique Lawrence. And I'm just like, yeah, fuck Cooper, fuck Klay, fuck AD, fuck Nico, fuck the Dallas Mavericks. So I ain't going to talk any good things for them. I hope they fail and fall flat on their face, especially since their owner is a genocidal maniac. So, yeah, we ain't doing this, Nako. Fuck Dallas. 2-finger salute for Nico and their bullshit. Seriously. Randolph saying, Lex, do you know how many Canadians are in the NBA draft this year? And is any of them high in the draft? Well, one of them we talked about the other day is Andrew Nebhardt's brother, Ryan. He'll be in this draft. But I don't think there's any really high prospect Canadians that are on my radar that I can think of. But the younger brother of Andrew is coming in, Ryan Nebhardt. He is coming in. That at least know of him. That's it. But I can't think of any other Canadians off the top of my head right now. I'm sure there's other ones. I just need to become aware of them. Blackhawks saying Malawach actually could fall to 9 or lower. Yeah. The thing is about Common, he's a project. He's not a sure thing. And in some ways, that's the deduction for him. Is in some ways he doesn't have offensive skills. He's going to be very good rebounding and shot blocking right away, but he really doesn't have any real good offense in some ways. Sure, it looks like he can shoot threes. It looks like he can get lobs and throw them down, but that's not really NBA offense. He's going to be a project. He's going to be a project like Shamshe and Koloko before him. And in some ways, that may not be as attractive to some of the top 10 drafting teams because they want somebody who's a little more polished. In some ways, Malawach is perfect to come to Toronto because he would get the best for himself here. Like we've said, we know Shamshe's in the best hands here, and Koloko is not at this point being on the Lakers. So it's good for Common. It's good for us. And it may be that he gets passed over because these other teams won't have time to wait for him to come around. We don't need Common to be offensive. We just need him to block shots and rebound. And the other guys on our team will score. That's the why it's a good fit for us. G saying, I watched some college ball and Queen stood out. He was clutch and confident. I trust whomever they pick. Yeah, well, he's the opposite of Common because he has a lot of offensive polish already, but he's not necessarily the other side of stuff like Common is defensively. So that's the kind of the interesting inverse of Derek Queen and Common Malawach is one's more offensive ready and one's more defensive ready. So Nako's saying Queen has Jokic in him. That's the passing skills. Yeah, he's got some very good passing skills, which is very intriguing. In some ways, that would fit really well with Darko's passing system. Seymour saying, let the chips land where they may. Yeah, and the chips landed, and it's number 9, baby. Number 9. Feeling fine at number 9. That's right. I'm feeling fine at number 9. Other people may have been in heaven at 7 or feeling floored at number 4, but that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Randolph saying, freaks, I accept the outcome of the draft, but we knew that it would take a miracle for a thing to go our way, which is why we were saying to let one of our players of strong faith to represent us. Well, Masai Ujiri is the figurehead. He's the captain of the ship. He is the creme de la creme, the top of our organization. And in some ways, that was a message sending that we're serious about this because we sent the number 1 guy in our organization. So I have no problem with them doing that. I don't know if this would have made a huge difference. Like, I kind of get on the Stargate tip and say they wouldn't have let us get the number 1 pick. Seriously, not in this draft. They wouldn't have let us get it. And obviously, they wanted to give it to Dallas because that looks exactly like it is. Yeah. G saying, wasn't Dirk Nowitzki a number 9 pick? Let's go. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, there's good picks at 9. And we've specifically, our franchise has done really well at 9. I mean, Masai got 9 once before, and it was Jakob. He picked Jakob at 9 before, and we can see where Jakob is at this point. You know, Brian Colangelo at 9, DeMar DeRozan. There you go. Glenn Grunwald at 9, Tracy McGrady. So we have GMs in the Raptors history picking very, very well at number 9, very astutely. I mean, seriously, like I said, 3 of the number 9 picks that the Raptors have drafted are going to be Hall of Famers. 2 of them. DeMar is going to be a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. He just has the cumulative stats for his career that he will be in the NBA Hall of Fame, guys. And McGrady's already there. So there's nothing wrong with this, man. Seymour saying, Nico, Kobe would be so proud of you right now. I see your vision, and you stuck through the booze with a little help from the league. Wink, wink. I don't know. Kobe would be proud of him. I mean, I guess you guys keep saying they're friends and all this stuff, and he was Kobe's guy and all this kind of stuff. Well, that's that once again, the collusion of helping the Lakers get Luka Doncic. Totally, it's all gross, man. Nico Harrison's not a hero. Nico Harrison's not a smart man. He's an egotistical piece of shit, Seymour. And you can go ahead and say all this about this and this about him. I know him for who he is. I've heard him speak, and he is absolutely a narcissist piece of shit. Honestly, I'm going to say that right now over and over again. You can go ahead and laud him and say all this, but he is absolutely a piece of shit. I know he is. I can tell. His energy just tells everybody. He's very arrogant. Trust me. He's very arrogant. In some ways, he's an extension of their piece of shit ownership of that team. Seriously. Everybody, it's so crazy the turn of events with the Mavericks organization. Like a couple of years ago, I was saying, man, I'd love to have an owner like Mark Cuban on for my team. And we do have a nice owner with Larry Tannenbaum, or now Ed Rogers, I guess. Well, we'll see. But The turn of events going from Mark Cuban to who the ownership of the Mavericks is absolutely disgusting and despicable. The Mavericks had such a great environment with Dirk Nowitzki and Mark Cuban. It's destroyed by this new regime. And in some ways, I hate the Mavericks more than ever, partly because of the owners, mainly because of the owners. The owners are some of the worst people in the world. If you support the Dallas Mavericks, you support genocide. That's just the damn truth. There's no ways to cut it otherwise. She's one of the biggest supporters of Israel, sending millions of dollars to pay for bombs that bomb babies. So I'm telling you right again, other places won't say this. ESPN doesn't have the balls to say what I just said, that if you support the Dallas Mavericks, Cooper Flagg, Nico Harrison, and that team, Jason Kidd, white beater, you are supporting the genocide of the Palestinian people. That is a direct correlation. That is an absolute truth. There is no propaganda in that. There is no conspiracy theory in that. You can directly link this to it. It's all online. You can all go look at it. And you'll say, damn, Lex is exactly right. The owner of the Mavericks is a huge person from Israel that gives millions of dollars through the casinos of the United States and the Dallas Mavericks to the Israeli government to bomb innocent people in Palestine on a daily basis. And they're starving them and a blockade of getting things into people right now. They're causing a famine and they're trying to kill these people off. It's despicable. It's immoral. It's a genocide. It's just as bad as what happened in Nazi Germany 100 years ago. That's what I'm saying. So if you want to be a Mavericks fan, you go ahead and bless the genocide of the Palestinian people by rooting for the Mavericks, because that's just the clear cut of it right there. Boom goes the dynamite. Trivia, please. Yeah, we'll do that trivia very soon. I know you might want to get out of here because you got to go back to work. G saying, there's a meme of a man being hit and just taking it and not being phased. The caption was Nico taking the abuse, knowing he was getting the #1 pick. That's part of it. I mean, honestly, I think that this was all a deal from the start. And Nico's like, I'll only do this because I'm going to take so much hate from Dallas if you give me the #1 pick. And I'm telling you, this is just the other end of the deal right here, man. Seymour saying, I'm all for the Raptors. Let's keep it about our team, F the other side. That's right. That's right. Let's just worry about what we're doing. Let's not worry about everybody else. Giannis this, San Antonio that, Cooper Flagg, Dallas this. Who cares? We're going to do what we're doing, and we're set up real nice. And our team's fun to watch. So I want to take the test of next year with Brandon Ingram healthy, with a barbecue coming out there, hopefully mostly healthy too. And let's just take it to the rest of the league. That's what I'm talking about right there. Kaloy saying top picks are overrated. Great drafting and asset management were the key to us winning the chip. Yeah, exactly. We didn't need any huge top pick in some ways. Kawhi, it wasn't a huge top pick. And the rest of them weren't either. There was no real lottery pick on that team. It's exactly right. Bryce is here. Good to see Bryce Lawson holding it down for us in Kentucky, the Bluegrass State on stateside. Good morning, Lex and Rapid Freaks. I think is common off the board. We 100% get Derek Queen. There you go. He's endorsing Queen if we don't get to common. That's right. I like that too. Those are the two guys I like the best. G saying LeBron to Cavs. He had much admitted on podcasts this was rigged. Ewing to Knicks. Wemby to Spurs. Wemby said he knew he was going to Spurs and wanted him. AD to Lakers. Pelicans got Zion. Yeah. And once again, I also brought this up last night. When LeBron screwed over the Cavs and went to South Beach, well, the Cavs were gifted the #1 pick in the draft a couple times in a row. So there's compensation going on in different weird ways through the draft for weird stuff in the league. There's too much of this evidence. I mean, Victor Wembanyama was a young man who was a Spurs fan since he was a kid. It's just too perfect that he lined up to be on the Spurs. I'm not upset about that because a powerful player like him, I like him being on a team I like. But I even admitted it then. It's like, yeah, this is kind of like they routed him there. So it is really like Adam Silver, you got to do a better job, man. You're maybe doing a better job with the refs and making the games seem like they're on the up and up, with the referees not controlling the games in certain ways at this point in the playoffs right now. But you're not doing a good job with the draft. You're not doing a good job with trying to make it seem like this is all legit, because it seems rigged as fuck. Seriously. Kaz saying, yeah, I'm with Stargate. This draft is rigged 100%. Yeah, I would want him to be on Mike's side with this and say, yeah, Mike, you're right. We'll be like idealists and say, yeah, this is totally on the up and up. But no, this is just too convenient. This is too screwed up. 1.8% chance with everything the way it went down the last year. No, this is bullshit. This is just too convenient, too easy. And in some ways, this is absolutely giving back to Nico for the bullshit this year. Seriously. G saying Luka to the Lakers and Dallas gets Cooper. Way too many coincidences. Way too many, G. Way too many. Exactly. Cool Cat saying NBA business decision is to move Luka to the Lakers market, give Dallas #1 pick to quell fans' outrage so that they continue to attend, watch games, help Sixers improve their roster with a top pick on a year when they shouldn't have been down. It really is. They're trying to help the Sixers become a perennial top team no matter what. Because if they're going to be down, well, we give them a really good high pick. That'll help them stay up there. I think it's all going to backfire on them. They've had high picks all over the place in the last 10, 15 years, and they fumbled every single time. We know this, guys. Stargate saying, here's another crazy one, folks. Ace Bailey drops outside top 3. Well, then that would mean he'd go to Charlotte. He'd go to Charlotte. I don't know. I mean, in some ways, it'll be interesting to see what San Antonio does, obviously. We know what Dallas is going to do. That's not even a question. And then, depending on what San Antonio does, and depending on whether they trade and another team's picking there, then that'll decide what happens with Philly. But Philly should really be kind of looking at either Bailey or Harper. Seriously, that one of the two Rutgers guys. Yeah. Let's see. Carlos saying Bailey was touted at 6'10", and when he measured, he was only 6'7". I'm telling you, I wasn't that impressed with Ace Bailey, honestly. I don't want him on our team. I felt like he was overhyped, and he didn't look right to me. He looks frail. He doesn't look very strong. He doesn't look very strong. And I'm not all about Dylan Harper either. I feel like Dylan Harp's overhyped too. As a test of this is Rutgers didn't get the postseason. So why the hell are these guys so good? That's what I say to that. That's right. Cool Cat saying if we understand that the NBA is in the sports entertainment industry, then you can understand the business move. Money derived from improving parity, which increase eyeballs, engagement, and global group. Fuck all that. As an anti-capitalist, that is not pure sports. That is not. That's a great business model for fuck faces that just want to make money. But honestly, I want a league that's a real pure league of competition where it's fair. And there's none of this kind of manipulation just because of like corporate and money considerations. So fuck all that, Cool Cat. Fuck that shit. I denounce it and I say, if you want a real league, well, maybe I need to start watching WNBA more. Well, if that's convoluted and messed up too, well, then maybe I got to watch CBL more, G League more. Maybe I'll start watching Unrivaled League, watching everything else other than this sports entertainment, convoluted, fixed shit for corporate interests and just worrying about money. That's the worst part of this, is that you describe this like this is just how it's got to be. Well, it doesn't. This world's sick with capitalism, and we're going down the tubes with it, is what's happening right now. Bryce is saying, could y'all imagine Ulrich and Common together? It'd be awesome. They're good friends already. It would be great for Malawach to have Shamshay here to show him the ropes and kind of help him get integrated into the Raptors. If that happens, that would be fantastic. That's what I hope happens. Right there. That's right. Blackhawk saying, but Bailey's shoes, you will grow 3 inches. I think it's interesting how certain players, they undersize on purpose and certain players, they oversize on purpose. And how do they determine this? Like, why would they lie to us and say that Ace Bailey's 3 inches taller and they tell us that Scotty Barnes is 2 inches shorter? What is this? What is the reasoning for this? What is the corporate capitalist reasoning for why you lie about certain people's heights and which ones? Were you trying to hide Scotty from us in the 4th pick when he came out saying he was 6'6", 6'7", when the man's actually 6'9"? You know, this is so fishy to me. Maybe it's the opposite with Ace Bailey. They're saying he's 6'10", but he's really 6'7", because they want to inflate him and make it more like he will be a bust in the top 3 for one of those 3 teams, Philadelphia or San Antonio. There you go. There you go. Seymour saying, I used to wear Bailey's when I was young. Great shoes for track and field. There's a brand called Bailey's. There was a coffee shop called Bailey's down in Tallahassee. Bailey's Coffee Shop. It was in the food court at the mall. Yeah, Bailey's. Yeah. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Raptors will manage whatever situation they encounter. Eastern Conference Finals could be Siakam and OG. What marketing for Raptors brand? Good vibes. Yeah, they're not going to market that for our brand. There's no money in that. They're not going to market that the 2 former Raptors are playing against each other. They want to forget that they played for us. Now, up here, fans can be like, yeah, we're enjoying seeing 2 of our former players playing against each other in the Eastern Conference Finals. But the NBA will not market those guys as former Raptors in certain ways. No, they won't. You know they won't, Cool Cat. That's not in their capitalist wants. No, it's not. Blackhawks saying definitely a Pacers versus Knicks conference finals. It's going to be physical. A lot of history there. I want to see Reggie Miller sitting on one side of the court and Spike Lee sitting on the other side of the court, and they can just mean mug each other the whole game. That might be a game within the game. Spike Lee versus Reggie Miller all over again. I love it, man. Blackhawks saying Lex, notice Flag wasn't excited. I didn't really pay attention to the interview. I don't really know his personality, so I couldn't really tell you if he was excited or not. He could just be a low-key kind of person. And he's just kind of like not really like, if he had his way, he'd be playing for the Celtics. If he was going to be drafted by the Celtics, if that could have been possible, he would have been over the moon by that. And he would have gone crazy because that's the thing that nobody's going to say. Cooper Flag is going to be a Celtic at some point. His family's diehard Celtics. They're from Maine. They've been Celtics fans their whole entire life. And I wouldn't be surprised if he lasts that long. He probably won't. He'd probably get fired before then. If Nico Harrison has to make another trade under the duress of Adam Silver of trading Cooper Flag to the Boston Celtics in 5 years from now. And then it's another weird thing like this because we need to revitalize the Celtics franchise or make it more spicy and fresh in the league. So y'all got to trade Cooper to Celtics this time, just like you did Luka to the Lakers. I'm sorry, Nico. You know this move. They're going to get mad at you, but this is best for the league and the money. So we're going to do this to you. Yeah, you're going to have to trade Flag to Celtics in 5 years from now. If this shit happens, remember that I said this shit before Cooper Flag was even drafted by the Mavericks. That motherfucker gets traded to the Celtics at some point, first 6 years of his career. You'll know I was right. That's right. Yeah, Combine will reveal all the real heights, the real jumps, the real wingspans, the real stats on what these guys can do. Their pre-draft workouts. Come on in. Let's see what you got. Derek Queen. That's right. That's right. Blackhawks saying also Sixers will take Bailey. He is a better prospect than Ben Simmons. At least Ace will shoot. There will be no point guard BS. I think that Bailey's going to be a bust. I'm going to just say that right now. I'm going to say it right now. I'll stand on that too. I think that Ace Bailey will be a bust in the NBA. All right, let's do the trivia, y'all. I've got the Toronto Raptors trivia book, and it's going to be 20 questions from here. I'm going to ask the question, and I won't give you the multiple choice answers unless y'all are struggling. So, yeah, real quick. G saying Dallas Wings also got the first pick in Page, and apparently the chances of both teams, WNBA and NBA, getting the first pick is close to 0. Yeah, it's fishy as hell. And once again, I'm going to say this may have more to do with that pro-Israel genocidal bitch that owns those teams is getting favors for somehow, some way, some convoluted way, honestly. It's Trump's America. Nothing is fucking on the up and up anymore. Everything's crooked. Everything is wrong in the United States at this point. So why wouldn't they do this shit? Seriously. All right, let's go to trivia, G. All right. Question number 1, guys, today. How many 3-point field goals did Chris Bosh make in 2004? We'll do higher or lower. How many 3-point field goals did Chris Bosh make in the year of 2004? This is such a goofy question, man. These questions are goofy. I'm not going to lie, man. They are goofy. So how many did he make? 41? That is too high. That is way too high. Chris Bosh did not make 41 threes in his year in 2004. That is not right. So I know the number here, 33 is too high. It's too high. Those are too high, way too high. We got to remember the league was different in 2004 than now, Fiercey. It was not all oriented around the 3-point shot. So this is a dumb question. I don't even know why they're asking this. Like, this is so generic and weird. Like who's going to know this off the top of their heads? 26, Fiercey? Slug DZ, you're looking these up. I know you are, man. Because you know what? You should at least make a wrong guess first before you just go look it up and tell me the answer. But yeah, it's 5. Slug DZ, man. You're giving yourself away when you got to, in a question like this, you got to give a wrong answer first and then give me the right answer. And I won't think you're cheating. Let's just put it that. Yeah, 5. He got 5 3-pointers that whole entire year. Yeah, he made 5 threes. That's it. Slug DZ got the question. Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Just so you know, Slug, I can tell. I've done trivias for a long, long time. I can tell when somebody's looking it up. You don't know that off the top of your head. All right, let's see. What number did the Raptors mascot wear? Yeah. What number does the Raptors mascot wear? This is too easy. What number does the Raptor wear? 95. Fiercey's got it. That's right. Of course it's 95. The year we started. There you go. That's 100 points for you. All right, next question. Let's see. Which big man did the Raptors draft with the 7th overall pick in 2005 NBA draft, stunning the NBA? Who did the Raptors pick 7th? Y'all go off the top of your head. Don't look this shit up. Seriously, don't Google this shit. Just go off the top of your head. I'm really trying to do this like where you're thinking about it and trying to guess. Who did the Raptors pick in 2005 draft at the 7th overall pick? Honestly, they're saying this person's a big man, but that's not true. They're not a big man. Charlie Villanueva is not right, according to this. I don't even know if this is accurate, though. Man, I don't trust this trivia book. It's had wrong questions already. Rafael Arujo? No, both of them are guesses on here, but that's not the right answer, according to this trivia book. I'm going to look it up myself real quick because I don't trust this book, man. In some ways, it's like stupid, man. Draft. Oh, no, that's not the right year. You know what? This book is really bad, man. It's not factually right. I bet you AI did write this book, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. They have the wrong answer here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and give it is Charlie Villanueva, who we got drafted there. They're trying to say it was Joey Graham. But man, what a horrible trivia book. I'm sorry, Trevor. This is not a reflection of you. This book is absolute garbage. I'm going to say this right now, officially, because I can't trust it whether the answer key's right. Because honestly, that's 2 out of 23 questions that have absolutely been fucking wrong. Seriously. All right, let's keep going. We'll play it through, but maybe this is the last week I use this book because honestly, this book is garbage, man. Question number 24. Which veteran did the Raptors acquire on November 16th, 2005, in order to provide insurance at the point guard position? Man, this is a really goofy book, man. Really goofy. What point guard did they pick up in November 16th, 2005 to provide insurance at the point guard position? And this is crazy. You know, in some ways I'm like, I kind of want to throw this book out. No offense, Trevor. No offense. TJ Ford is not right. He's not one of the guesses either. Man, and the guesses on here aren't even really good guesses. Like the multiple choice for this is so stupid because a lot of these players aren't point guards. Oh man, this is a really bad book. I could write so much better trivia book than this fucking piece of crap. I'm pretty sure somebody just took AI and wrote a book and published it just to try and make a quick buck. They didn't put any work into this because it's factually not correct. Mike James, that's a better guess. It's somebody more like Mike James. That's a better guess. That's close. That's close. But none of these are the answer. Like none of these, like it's crazy. They have Leo Routens as one of the guesses on this question. Leo Routens was signed by the Mavericks. I mean, signed by the Raptors in 2005 to shore up their point guard position. That's crazy. Lindsey Hunter is another. Lindsey Hunter are right around the lines of who this guy is. I would say this player was known for playing for the Clippers other than us. And he's somebody y'all would never think about, honestly. It's kind of weird, man. He also has 2 first names for his name. There it is, Derek Martin. Yeah, I know you're going to look, Slug, but in some ways I don't mind, especially when the questions are stupid. Derek Martin is the right answer. His name is spelled Darrick, but it's fine. I don't care. In some ways, I just want to get this trivia over and done with. Let's see. All right. Which 2005 Raptors assistant coach was the interim head coach of the LA Clippers in 2000 after the firing of Chris Ford? That's a weird question, man. That doesn't even have to do with us. That has more to do with the Clippers. That is weird, man. This book is kind of garbage, man. That's not even true, too. I don't think that's right. I don't think this is right, man. I might have to totally just stop using this book right now because I don't think this is right. Okay, hang on. Let me see. I'm just going to fact check this answer because I don't think it's right. Yeah, they don't have the right answer marked, man. This is crazy. Like the answer key is all wrong in the back. The answer key is all wrong in the back. Like all these answers are not correctly marked. This is crazy, man. I can't believe this. Okay, I see what's going on here. All right. Yeah, that's not right. Weird, man. They're like one off. They don't have the answer key in here right. It's like they skipped the question or something. That is so weird, man. Okay, well, who was the assistant coach that took over for the Clippers when they fired Chris Ford in 2000? What 2005 Raptors assistant coach was that guy? This book is just a garbage book, honestly. It's not factually right. In some ways, it's very indicative of what the problem is with AI, that it's not going to be correct. It's not going to be correct. There's going to be a lot of problems in here. Like it's trying to say that Alex English was the interim coach of the Clippers after this. And I know that's not true. Alex English never got to be an interim coach for any team. And this is totally wrong. In some ways, the answer is Jim Todd. I don't know if y'all would ever got it. I don't care. I'm just going to mark this one XX because it's all screwed up, man. I can't believe how much of a waste of time this book has been. Seriously, it's not even like the questions are that interesting or exciting. All right, let's go. Next question. The Raptors drafted Roko Jukic with the 41st overall pick in the 2005 NBA draft. Instead of going to the Raptors, however, Jukic opted to go to Spain to play for which basketball team? Let me just check and see if this answer is right. It's stupid because I'm looking it up. So obviously you guys can see yourself. Oh, man, this is so annoying, man. Like, I kind of wish I hadn't started this. Is that on there? Is that the answer they're giving? Yeah. Okay. They got the answer right on this one. This one's right. Okay. Fiercely saying Real Madrid. No, that's not right. Barcelona is right. Yeah. Barcelona is right. Yeah. Who the fuck is Jukic? Jukic, it was his birthday yesterday, actually. Roko Jukic. Yeah. He was a player we have. It's Barcelona. I'll give it to Seymour. It is Barcelona. All right. Yeah, we'll just move through here. Which tall Raptors center was suspended indefinitely while with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2002 for conduct detrimental to the team? Why is this a question? That's about when they were on the Timberwolves. We don't give a shit about that. Which tall Raptors center was suspended indefinitely while with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 2002 for conduct detrimental to the team? I kind of remember this. And the question's right. This one's right. I know it is. There you go. Stargate remembers. It's Lauren Wood. He spelled his name wrong, but that's right. It is Lauren Wood. Good memory there. Stargate. Good memory. That is who it was. All right, let's keep going. Let's just get this done. To which international squad did the Raptors suffer a defeat in an exhibition game prior to the start of the 2005-2006 season, marking only the second time that an NBA team has lost to an international club? So what team did the Raptors lose to, what they shouldn't have lost to in an international game in 2005, 2006? Yeah, not Rasho Nesterovic. It was Lauren Wood. Lauren Woods. Man, is this even right? I feel like I have to check all of these questions because of... I don't think that's right. I don't think that's the right team. Man, this book's stalling out my show because I have to go and look at... I have to go and fact check the questions. I should have maybe looked at them before. Yeah, this answer's wrong. They've got the answer wrong on this one too. That's not right. Oh my gosh, man. I can't believe how bad this is. And I remember this game, honestly, and that's why I knew it was wrong. Slug got it. Yeah, it's Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv beat them. They were trying to say that Real Madrid beat them. Man, I hate how I have to fact check this. It's so dumb, man. All right, next one. Jose Calderon and which other NBA player became the first two Spaniards to start in the same NBA game when the Raptors played the Memphis Grizzlies on November the 30th, 2005? So we're supposed to answer a Spanish player that played for the Grizzlies. This is not Raptors trivia. This is Grizzlies trivia at this point. What is this crap, man? Holy crap. This is so bad. These are so wrong right now. Like, seriously, I got to just throw this out, man. We're going to do 2 more questions and we're done. Yeah, it is Pau Gasol, but they put in the answer key that's Peja Stojakovic. Isn't that crazy? The answer key says Peja Stojakovic is Spanish. Oh my gosh, man. Like, this is horrible. I want to just throw this thing in the garbage, man. Seriously, I'm so mad that this is not factually right. Seriously. And that there's somebody who's putting this book out and making money off of it with this misinformation and this bullshit. I thought it was Garboza too, because Garboza was on our team, but it was a player on the Grizzlies, and it was Pau Gasol. But they put in the answer key that it was Peja Stojakovic. Actually, it could have been Raul Lopez. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Pau, though. All right, last question. We're going to quit the trivia even 10 questions earlier than I wanted to. This is so fucking painful and stupid. Which 2 Raptors players played their college ball in Michigan? In Michigan. Like at the school or at the... But this is a really poorly worded question because they've got players... Like, do you mean that they just played in the state of Michigan? Or that they played at Michigan? Like, this is stupid, man. This is making me so mad. I'm definitely not using this book ever again after this. I was supposed to do it 2 more weeks, but I'm done with this. This is stupid, man. Raptors that played for Michigan. I'm going to go ahead and Google it myself just to make sure to freaking fact check this, because I feel like this is like one of the worst. And see, it's giving me freaking AI answer back. What? This is crazy. They've named a bunch of players who played for Michigan, but none of them are the answers. And Jalen Rose is not one of the answers. And we know Jalen Rose played for them. Oh my gosh, this book is horrible, man. Okay, supposedly the answer is, and this is so stupid. According to this book, Seymour's got it right. All right, first of all, this is so dumb. Okay, the question is, which 2 Raptors played their college ball in Michigan? The answers are Mike James and Eric Williams. I don't think those guys played for Michigan. Joey Graham and Matt Bonner. Matt Bonner played for Florida. I know that for sure. And Joey Graham did not play in Michigan, but the answer key says that's the right answer. Matt Bonner and Joey Graham. Then they have Aaron Williams and Lauren Woods. I'm pretty sure Lauren Woods played for like Minnesota or West Virginia or something like that. Joey played for Oklahoma. And the right answer is this. And this is so stupid. The right answer is, but they put it as the wrong. They didn't mark this as the answer. Jalen Rose and Morris Peterson is the answer here. And I'm going to give it to Seymour, who put it, or Stargate, who put that in first. That's the answer. But like, why would you put Michigan State's Morris Peterson on there? You should have put Jimmy King with Jalen Rose. It should have been Jimmy King and Jalen Rose is the answer. They didn't even get it right. Like this book is so cooked. All right, Marionette Denise, you're on call right now. You're fucked for putting this shit out. Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna just stop trivia here because this book is garbage, man. I'm sorry, Trevor. This is garbage. This is absolute piece of crap. And I'm not, you know what I've learned this year with trivia? Lex, you got to do the trivia. Nobody else does it because you do it the best. You do it way better than anybody who's tried to do trivia for this channel so far. Whether it's this dumbass book, whether it's the little cards I did that my nephew Nuggy the Ruggy gave me, whether it's our former commissioner of trivia who wrote questions himself. This is just garbage, and it's gonna go in the garbage. I'm throwing it there right now. I just threw it in the garbage. Total garbage, man. No, I'm pretty sure this is an AI written book without any proofreading. They didn't actually go and look at it. They literally AI wrote this book, didn't even check it to see if it was accurate, and just printed it and put it out. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Garbage book, man. Holy crap. Yeah, I'm dead, man. I'm dead too, man, on this. I'll count the points that y'all just did, but man, I honestly, man, I'm so mad right now. I just like this is like dealing with my autism. This kind of shit makes me so mad because honestly, there's this person is making money off of these books like Trevor Bott, and they are putting out misinformation and they didn't do any work and they're just making money off of it. No, I'm going to give you guys the points. We spent the time doing this stupid shit. We might as well do the last part. I'm shocked that I couldn't finish the second half of questions because it was so badly written. Like, seriously, who writes a question? Which two players played for Michigan on the Raptors? And then Michigan State, Morris Peterson is one of the answers. That's misleading. And seriously, there's a lot of other players that played in the state of Michigan other than those two guys for the Raptors. Like, seriously, what is this bullshit? You know, you're going to say who played for the University of Michigan Wolverines? Hello. Okay, Jalen Rose and Jimmy King. But you're going to come at me with all this stupid ass shit. You're going to put Morris Peterson in that question? He went to Michigan State. You might as well have told me who played for Michigan State and played for the Raptors. No. All right, let me do some other segments here. Clear the palate. Y'all, straight goods on Canadian goods, y'all. Today I'm talking about Thai Express. Do y'all know Thai Express? Thai Express was created by a businessman out of Montreal in 1998. He fell in love with the cuisine of Thailand, and he knew he wanted to share his love here in North America. So with the help of four loving Southeast Asian sisters, Loon, Lin, Kai, and Loy, his passion project became a reality. And with that, Thai Express came into life. That's right. Over 300 locations worldwide now. They have locations starting from Montreal right across Canada into Vancouver, all the way over the Maritimes. And they have locations down in the States too. So if you see a Thai Express, know that it is a Canadian company, Canadian roots and Canadian economy. All the money and proceeds come up here. So even if you're stateside, and you see a Thai Express, know that that is a Canadian company over there. So yeah, they're all about quality, respect, customer experience, and honoring the origins of Thai food. There you go. So Thai Express, there you go. Go get some Thai food at Thai Express, a Canadian company, straight good Canadian goods. That's right. Boom goes a dynamite. Classic card is better. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Thai Express is solid. Solid. Okay, Fierce is giving the thumbs up on the Thai Express. There you go. I like that. Let's go see what's going on with the Raptors Reddit. There's all kinds of out-of-pocket things going on Raptors Reddit right now. Like I said last night, somebody's saying, fuck this franchise in particular, Dallas Mavericks. This is the saying. They posted Masai Ujiri on Toronto Raptors getting the 9th pick. Tracy McGrady, DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl will be fine. I guarantee you will be fine. That's what he's saying. I like that. I love this guy wrote this. For those blaming Masai for not tanking hard enough, Washington and Utah are picking 5th and 6th. The results suck, but the number 1 pick was never guaranteed. Getting mad at the front office for the lottery is irrational. Thank you. Thank you, Redditor, that said that. You are exactly right. That's right. Here, another Raptors Reddit person saying, reminder, the Raptors have a breadth of young talent who haven't reached their full ceiling yet and a pretty good development coach. So, whoever they drafted 9 is going to have a chance with a team that will develop the hell out of him. I'm not worried. These are the right kind of responses from Raptors Nation right here. This is the kind of stuff right here. This is it. I called it. It's Zion all over again. Boom. They're saying this like I'm calling it now. Some guy said 99 days ago, I'm calling it now. Dallas will get Cooper Flagg some way, somehow. This is somebody who knew this like 3 months ago after the trade to LA. And they're exactly right. And are they Nostradamus? No, maybe they just know how the shady ass NBA works. Seriously. Somebody has posted a picture of Brandon Ingram in the Duke jersey saying, "We already got our top 3 pick. He's right here." And there you go. Some other idiots are saying literally us wasting an entire year just to find out we were waiting for the 9th pick to save us. Idiots. Idiots. Here's somebody posted "We the 9th," like the "We the North" thing. They just took the OR out of the North and put an IN in there. 9th, "We the 9th." A year of tanking for this? Well, you idiots. Nothing's guaranteed in this world. And in some ways, it is what it is. We're going to be fine. Here, somebody posted this. "We move. Project SGA next." Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is saying it's definitely every Canadian's dream to play at home. That's right. He will come play for us at some point, possibly. We'll have to see. So, yeah, there's Raptors Reddit. They're acting out of pocket with stupid stuff. That's for sure. Happy birthday today, guys, to Montreal's own Montreal Alliance, and also Raptors 905 of last year, Quincy Guerrier. Quincy Guerrier is 26 today, guys. So happy 26th birthday to Quincy. I hope you have a fantastic birthday, my guy. I really, really do. Let's see. Let's do the classic card. Let's do the classic card. Yeah. Happy birthday, Quincy. That's right, Mo. That's right. Yeah, idiots. That's right, Stargate. Idiots. Carlos saying, "I'm curious. Has there been any proof of any draft day shenanigans in the history of the NBA? The frozen envelope? I don't know if there's ever been proof. It's not like they can come out and say, oh, this is for sure. This is what happened. They'll cover it up. I mean, back in the day, you got to remember, David Stern was a shark. He was like a mafia boss. And if anything was going to be detrimental or dangerous to the league, he hid it. He hid it. And he would hide all kinds of crazy stuff for the best of the league. So the league still operates like that. Adam Silver is a lawyer. And in some ways, that his job is to protect the league and the interests of the financials and stuff like that, and collusion and all kinds of goofy shit behind the scenes. He's the puppet master of it because he wants to make sure the NBA is a healthy economic ecosystem. And that's why Luka going to the Lakers, a shakeup to help people start watching again, to help the ratings. I mean, it's on the nose. I mean, can't we see this? Seriously. Most saying W stream, W vibes, despite the trivia. Go Raptors for life. Keep at it always, Legs. Yeah, I appreciate that, Mo. It is what it is. In some ways, well, we learned. You take shortcuts by writing an AI trivia book, you get a shitty book. That's right. Yeah, the frozen envelope was crazy work. That's for sure. All right, here's the classic card of the day. Who knows who this card is right here? We got a Celtic today. Who is the classic card of the day? Full name answer will get you the points right here. Stargate saying, "That's why I'm off X. I could only imagine those kids in Zazu spaces with temper tantrums last night." Yes, nobody needs to be there. If a tree falls in the forest, nobody hears it. Nobody hears it. Blake Griffin, that's wrong. That's an interesting answer. Jason Tatum is wrong too. It's not Blake Griffin. It's not Jason Tatum. In some ways, this is a kind of a goofy card. You may see it from where you're seeing it, but it's not exactly right. I'll bring it closer. Maybe that'll tell you guys something. There you go. That might tell you something. Brad Lohaus. I love that guess. That is an awesome guess. Brad Lohaus wishes he could jump like that. Gordon Hayward is right. Slug Deezy's really trying to catch up because he's really aggressive right now. I can tell. That is definitely Gordon Hayward. We hadn't seen him get up in the air like that in a long, long time. Is he even in the league at this point? Seriously. So I'll give him 100 points for that one. Slug Deezy, 100 points for the classic card on Gordon Hayward was the card for today. Celtics card on the night after Celtics went down, and they're all pretty sad about that. They're all pretty sad about that. So 100 points for that. All right, let's see. Am I getting close to my time? I got about 20 minutes. I don't need to go any longer, though, because I think I've got pretty much everything covered that. Yeah, Gordon Hayward jumping like that. I know, Stargate. That's why I was like, wow, that's why you guys couldn't figure that out. Wow, he couldn't jump like that like very long in his career. That's right. It is what it is. Yeah. All right, let me see. Let's do a wrap-up. So the Raptors are going to pick 9th in the draft as of the lottery last night. We're not upset. We're okay with it. You know, the league just looks so bad right now, honestly, with the outcome from last night. It just looks really, really bad. Yeah, he had a really bad injury, Gordon. The referees for tonight, once again, James Capers favors the Pacers. Ben Taylor very slightly favors the Pacers, but it's really kind of even. Mark Lindsay favors the Pacers in the game tonight, game 5 at Cleveland. Pacers can eliminate the Cavs tonight if they beat them. We'll have to see. Zach Zarba favors the Nuggets in the game against the Thunder in Game 5 there, the deciding Game 5 for getting ahead 2-2 in that series. David Guthrie favors the Nuggets also, while Curtis Blair, the third ref, favors the Thunder. So, and he really favors the Thunder. So, yeah, there's the ref report once again. Tie Express, y'all, get your tie on. Raptors are getting mock draft by ESPN to pick Colin Murray Boyles of South Carolina, power forward. He has been of interest to NBA teams for the past couple of seasons with his statistical profile holding strong appeal in analytics models and the eye test backing much of that performance. Though undersized for his position, his toughness, play finishing, passing, and defensive chops are attractive. Teams will be particularly eager to see how Murray Boyles shoots in workout settings, with the three-point shot not yet a regular part of his arsenal, but a key swing skill in his development. There is plug-and-play appeal in the things he already does well. Intel and fit for Toronto. Toronto has begun to shift out of its multi-year rebuild as signaled by the acquisition of Brandon Ingram at February trade deadline. Scotty Barnes remains the team's primary cornerstone, and the pick gives the Raptors one more opportunity to swing on a top 10 talent before potentially upping the ante and pushing for a playoff berth moving forward. Murray Boyles would give them a true power forward who would enhance lineups defensively on a roster otherwise full of scorers. So, okay, so he's more of a defensive player in some ways. We've got a lot of scoring players on our team right now. So maybe we'll see. I'm going to have to go scout him again, watch him some more, and that may help me decide on my true how I feel about Boyles. Because I didn't really think that good of him the first time I scouted him. He wasn't somebody that I've been thinking about a lot at this point. So anyway, that's about it, guys. If you like the channel, you can join and become a member of our Facebook group and our Discord server and interact with us on off hours and stuff like that. I'll be back tomorrow with a Wow Wednesday. I'm not sure what we'll be talking about, but hopefully it'll be much more interesting than some of the stuff today. As far as things, we'll have to see what happens in the games tonight. Anything that happens in the Raptors world, we'll be wowing about for Wow Wednesday tomorrow. All right, thanks for watching me today, guys. Sorry the trivia went so south today. In some ways, it's like, man, I should have sussed that book out a little bit more clear to see if it was actually accurate. But at this point, I can't use it at this point. It's absolutely a train wreck. Is basically what it is. It's a horrific injury, just like Gordon Hayward's leg injury. Is what that trivia book is. Once again, I appreciate you, Trevor. You mean well, and you send a nice book. It's nothing on you. It's just, man, I'm really annoyed with that woman making books like that and making a lot of money off of the Raptors in that kind of way. In some ways, the Raptors need to know that there's somebody putting out AI trivia books for the team that is absolutely not factual. Plus, why are they making so many questions about like other teams in there too? I don't know. I could criticize that book for a while right now. Anyway, y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Let's go, Raptors. Trust them aside. We're going to be fine. 9th pick, we're going to get a good player. Watch. We'll get a good player.